It's Quizapalooza time, y'all. Here's the thing. You gotta give everything you have to get these answers correctly. Some are very difficult, others are so-so, but I'm sure you'll shine on all of them. See you on the other side. Would you know how to answer this next one if your life depended on it? Let's see. Humans were once furry people, but they lost their fur because A. They developed other ways of heating ourselves. B. Because hairs are useless. C. They needed to be different from other animals. D. Due to larger amounts of stress. This sounds challenging, but the correct answer is A.
Scientists theorize that early humans lost their fur so they wouldn't overheat while hunting. We instead evolved to store fat to keep warm, which is why your head is covered in long, thick hair. There's no fat on your scalp.
Okay, smart one. Tell me if this is true or false. Dogs wear braces to fix their teeth, just like humans do. This is true.
And you might not believe it, but this invention has existed for over 30 years now. Dogs can also have dental fillings if they chipped one of their teeth in case of cavities and crowns.
This is getting more and more exciting. Let's see how well your knowledge of the animal kingdom is. A. Noses. B. Taste buds. C. Feet. D. Antennas. You betcha it's with their feet. Wait, what? Yup, they've got taste receptors located on their feet, so they can find their host plant more easily and locate food. And what about our buddy snakes? Where do you think they smell from? A. Their noses. B. Their tongues. C. Their bodies. D. Their brains. Snakes smell with their tongues. That's why they are always sticking out their tongues everywhere they go. If this next question would change your life for the best, would you know if it's true or false? It's true.
Reindeers change their eye color depending on the season. Their eyes are gold in the summer and blue in the winter.
Hippos can do something quite unique. What would you say it is? A. They can produce their own sunscreen. B. They can float for hours. C. They can communicate through echolocation. D. They cooperate with other species for food. The correct answer is the letter A.
Hippos don't get their skin burned in the blazing sun because they produce their own sunscreen. It's kind of pink sweat that covers their whole body.
Jellyfish shouldn't exist because they don't have A. Brains or hearts, B. Any organs, C. Eyes, D. Limbs. Did you say the letter A? Then you got it right?
Perhaps the most impossible creature in the world is a jellyfish. It doesn't have any sensory organs we're used to, like eyes, ears, and nose. It has no skeleton, but most importantly, it hasn't got a brain or heart. Its body is almost entirely made of water. That's why if you take a jellyfish out of the sea and put it on the shore, it will soon melt. At the same time, there's a species of jellyfish that can live forever in a safe environment.
Okay, you're doing good on the animal kingdom bit. Let's change the topic a bit. You know, a bag of chips comes filled with air. What do you think is inside? A. Oxygen. B. Nitrogen. C. Carbon dioxide. D. Hydrogen. Oh, this was a tricky one, but it's letter B.
Food items like chips come with about 43% nitrogen inside their package. It might seem like they sell you half a bag of air, but it's exactly the opposite. Oxygen, the gas we breathe, would react with the chips inside the bag and make them go rancid quickly. It's called oxidizing for a reason. Nitrogen, on the other hand, is an inert gas that helps the foodstuff stay fresh.
Moving on. So you've probably noticed that public toilets have a large gap between the floor and the door. That's true so that A. People wouldn't stay there too long. B. So that bad odor wouldn't accumulate. C. So we could always see when there was someone inside. D. There was zero privacy. All of these seem true, but the main reason is the letter A.
Almost any public toilet has a large gap between the floor and the door. The reason for such a zero privacy thing is to actually minimize the level of privacy and comfort so that people wouldn't stay there long and there'd be no lines. It's also easier to clean and safer if some emergency occurs.
You're doing great. Let's keep going. If your toilet flush breaks in the middle of a house party, what should you and your guests do? A. Call a plumber. B. Use a bucket to flush down. C. Freak out. D. Don't use the bathroom. You should use a bucket to flush things down.
If your toilet flush is broken at the worst time ever, don't freak out. Get a bucket, fill it with water, and pour it into the bowl instead of flushing. The water will just go away into the pipe as usual. This works because of how a toilet is made. Most have the handle attached to a chain that's connected to the flapper, and the flapper is the top cover of the flush valve. When you push the handle, the chain raises the flapper and causes the water from the tank to flow through the valve and get into the toilet bowl.
You've probably heard some cracking noises coming from your apartment walls during the night. Where are these things coming from after all? A. Your upstairs neighbor. B. From the concrete, metal and wood used to build the structure. C. From a ghost trying to haunt you. D. From people walking in the streets. It's the letter B, y'all.
Deep at night, you might sometimes hear cracking noises coming from the walls or ceiling, or even sounds as if someone's rolling metal balls on the floor. This happens because the concrete, metal, and wood in the house react to changes in temperatures and even humidity levels. Metal expands during the day when the sun is at its peak, but when it sets, the metal relaxes and goes back to its regular size.
You should make bubbles in your bath because they A. Are pretty. B. They smell so good. C. They help regulate the water's temperature. D. They help to make you even cleaner. You rocked if you chose the letter C.
Bath foam isn't only for fun or a nice smell. It also helps regulate the temperature. The bubbles keep the water hot, so you can enjoy a bath a bit longer. Anyway, it works for acrylic bathtubs only. Those made of metal lose heat really fast either way.
You're getting better and better at this. I bet you would have won a huge prize if this was a real-life game show. Keep choosing the right ones. For our next question, we're talking about giraffes. One of the perks of being so tall is that giraffes can A. See danger approaching from 1.2 miles in the distance. B. They can rub each other's neck. C. They can run faster. D. They get fresher air. It's the letter A, y'all.
Thanks to their tallness and good eyesight, giraffes can see danger approaching from afar. Their head is like a watchtower, and they warn each other of the threat in a very unusual way, with the help of their low humming sound.
Have you ever seen this little guy running on water? It's been called the JC lizard for a reason. But how can they do it? A. They have a special feature on their feet. B. Their skin is hydro-repellent. C. Their log toes. D. Their ability to run super fast. It's letter C, y'all.
Plumed basilisk lizards have an uncanny ability to run on water. First, their hind feet are equipped with long toes with fringes of skin that can spread out in the water. As a result, a bigger surface of the lizard's foot comes into contact with the water. Then it pumps its legs incredibly fast when it runs on water. This creates little pockets of air that prevent the animal from drowning by keeping it on the surface. If pizza is round, it would be logical to make the pizza box round as well, wouldn't it?
So, why are they squared? A. Because it's easier and cheaper to make. B. So that the pizza doesn't get squashed. C. They are easier to deliver. D. They are easier to store. And the correct answer is letter A.
In fact, those boxes are square just because it's easier to produce them this way. They're made of a single piece of cardboard that's folded into a box, and then it's also simpler to store them in stacks, fitting nicely into a corner. Still, there have been attempts at making round boxes, although none of them have been very successful yet.
Flamingos are originally born A. Yellow, like chicks. B. Grayish-white. C. Pink, like salmons. D. White. And the correct one is letter B.
Baby flamingos are grayish-white. Algae and seafood they feed on contains a substance called carotenoids, and thanks to it, over time, flamingos acquire pink plumage. It's the same substance that's present in carrots, and your skin can turn orange too if you eat too much of it.
Here's a very specific one I know you will love. The most bizarre thing that zebras' stripes help them with is A. To protect them from predators. B. It avoids bites from dangerous insects. C. It confuses other animals. D. It makes them bond as a family. What do you say? It's letter B.
The black and white color of a zebra doesn't help it hide from predators. What it does is help avoid bites from dangerous insects, such as tsetse fly. A fly sees a zebra, but when approaching, it flies by or crashes into the animal and bounces off. Nobody knows exactly why this happens. One theory says that the black and white coat of a zebra creates an optical illusion that confuses insects.
Let's do a quick true or false one here. Is it true that flies see everything at a super speed? This is a trick question, but it's false.
Flies, for example, have thousands of little eye receptors that work together to give them a big picture of what's going on around them. And get this, they see everything in slow-mo. Plus, they can see ultraviolet light. It helps them with communication.
You've been a child once, and someone has already told you what that hole in your lollipop is for. Let's check if you can remember it. A. To prevent accidents. B. To keep the candy in place. C. For you to blow a whistle. D. No specific reason. So, what's the truth here? It's the second option.
That hole in your hollow lollipop stick isn't to prevent choking should it ever be swallowed. It's actually there to keep the candy in place. Excess candy flows into the hollow tube and the hole, which, when it hardens, keeps the pop in place. If it was a smooth stick, the candy would slide off easily. The emptier your fridge is, the more cold air is lost when you open the door.
Would you say this is A. True, B. False, or C. Almost true? It's true. If it's empty, it loses more cold air once you open it,
making the machine work hard to replace all that crispiness. If the fridge is filled, less cool air escapes as it creates a barrier, and the foodstuffs hold the cold, meaning less energy is required to fill it back up again. Your thumb doesn't make any sound when you snap your fingers.
What do you say, genius? A. True, or B. False? It's big time false.
The sound you hear is actually created by your middle finger hitting your palm. Your thumb just gives the right angle to get that clicking sound.
Have you ever wondered what that black grate on your microwave was for? A. It's a Faraday shield. for protection against UV rays. B. It's a design thing to make it look better. C. It's to prevent overheating. D. It was made to store food for longer periods of time. And the correct answer is letter A.
That black grate on a microwave isn't just some fancy decoration. It's called a Faraday shield, and it prevents the rays from escaping the microwave. It also speeds up the heating, so you could enjoy yesterday's leftovers faster. It also may block phone signals, so if you're tired of numerous calls, just put the phone into a microwave, but don't turn it on.
The sea is filled with really bizarre animals. Try to find which one of these animals actually exist. A. Firework spitting fish. B. Guitar fish. C. Microwave fish. D. Traveling clownfish. The correct answer is the first one, letter A.
The cardinal fish has been called firework spitting for a reason. When this little critter guzzles too many ostracods, a type of zooplankton, the tiny creatures start to glow inside the fish's body due to their bioluminescence. As a result, the cardinal fish becomes more visible, exposing it to predators. That's why the fish spits the ostracods out, which looks like it breathes outbursts of bluish fire.